Hello everyone, this is your tutor and narrator Umesh Bakal. I welcome you to this session on study of axial flow compressors. So let's start our session. So before getting into what compressors are, let us get ourselves familiar with what is turbo machines, what are fluid machines, and rest of the thing. Okay. So over here, what fluid machine is? So fluid machine is simply a machine which is capable of handling a fluid. So I guess everyone is familiar with this term fluid. Fluid is what? Anything which has which does not have a fixed shape. Right? So fluid is a mass which deforms by application of a very small force. So that is what fluid is. And fluid machines are what? Machines which are capable of handling such fluids are called as are termed as fluid machines. So that is it, a device that handles fluid for different purposes. Now what are these different purposes? Like circulation, transmission, all such type of, to increase the pressure, velocity, so all such purposes. Okay. So more specifically, fluid machines are the devices which convert stored energy of fluid into mechanical energy or vice versa. So all such machines are regarded as fluid machines. Followed. So we can show a fluid machine. So in general, we could. So this means that is how a fluid. This is how a fluid machines are. Means so to this is what we could say a fluid machine. Now next, so these are the fluid machines. Now what is turbo machine? Correct. So now what are turbo machines? Turbo itself means a whirling or spinning fluid machine with component. So turbo machine must be a machine which has a continuous rotating element. So fluid machine with components which are continuously in rotational motion or which continuously execute a rotation. So all such fluid machines are termed as turbo machines. Followed. So more specifically again, how can we define as turbo machine? Turbo machine is a device where energy transfer either from continuously flowing fluid takes place by action of rotation of the by action of rotation of one or more rotating blades. Correct. So now, what are turbo machines? Turbo itself means a whirling or spinning. So turbo machines are the fluid machines which has one component which continuously rotates. So we could say turbo machines are the fluid machines which have a component which continuously executes the motion of rotation. Followed. So in more specific way, we could say turbo machine is a device. Now this rotation happen by means of what? Rotodynamic action. Correct. Maybe when the power to runner is given by external power is given in terms of electricity, or either energy from the flowing fluid is used to rotate that rotodynamic rotating element. Followed. So in more specific way, we could say turbo machine is a device where energy transfer from or to a continuously fluid stream takes place by dynamic action of rotation of one or more rotating blades. So in some turbo machines there are series of moving and curve vane. That's why this term more than one blade is mentioned over here. Correct. So next, now now as I now as we said ki if we are talking about a turbo machine, so it must constitute of a parts which rotates continuously. Correct. So in case of, see over here, we can see a multiple blades in the next diagram. See, these are the rows of blades. This is the first row, this is second row, this is third row, this is fourth row. Correct. So that is why this one or more than blades is this term is used. See, Now such rotating elements, now what do we call this rotating element? We either call it as impeller, runner, or rotor. Followed. So the element which continuously rotates, it either is called as, that rotating element is either called turbine, runner, or rotor, or impeller, based upon where it is working, based upon the what machine, we will call it as out of these three. Correct. So it is called as turbine when we are extracting energy from the fluid. Rotor, we use term rotor or runner in case of turbine only. Okay, this rotor term is specifically used in case of compressors, axial compressors. Rotor means what? Runner is what? When energy is given by fluid, and by that energy the disc will that disc rotates, that is called as runner. It was run by fluid stream. And rotor is what? Rotor means when external energy, electricity is supplied, and that rotor is rotating itself first, and then it is giving energy to the fluid stream. Correct. Means it is causing the flow. So all such are called as rotors. And impellers are particularly used, this term is used in pumps. Centrifugal, wherever the centrifugal action happens, that wheels are called as impeller. That either may be centrifugal pump or centrifugal compressor. So this is it. Now, so I guess we have a fair idea about what fluid machines are and what turbo machines are. Now let's take a brief idea about, since we are talking about the energy in fluid, so what are the forms of energy, or what is the, in which form the energy is present in this fluid stream? Correct. So what is stream and what is the fluid energy? Let's discuss that. Correct. So over here, turbo machines are what? Stored energies in fluid is then converted into mechanical work. Followed. So mechanical work में convert होगा, so energy transition happens between these two. Right. So what do we mean by this stored energy in the fluid? That is what we want to study. Right. So let's say if fluid either can be in motion or either it can be at rest. Correct. So whenever we have fluid in motion or fluid so stored energies in fluid, so either fluid may be at rest, or fluid may be in motion. So whenever the fluid is at rest, so it can be regarded as a closed system. It can be regarded as a simply closed system, where the energy available with a closed system will have intermolecular energy as well as energy because of its position. So there is no interaction of energy with surrounding. So these are the only two forms of energy fluid will have. This intermolecular energy is present with the fluid because of virtue of temperature, and potential energy is possessed by virtue of its position. Followed. So same way, when fluid is in motion, so what type of energies a fluid will possess? Fluid will have intermolecular energy, again that is because of temperature. Since either fluid is at rest or either fluid is in motion, it will definitely have some value of temperature, and that means it will have a intermolecular energy. Then after, it will have also positional velocity. Along with it, since the fluid is in motion, it will possess a kinetic energy. Correct. So kinetic energy is one of the form of energy a fluid stream will have. And next one is flow type of work or PV type of energy. This flow type of work is what we already have studied this in thermodynamics in a very detailed manner. Whenever a energy is supplied to any fluid stream, it gets stored in the form of some value in the form of pressure as well as whenever a energy is supplied to a flowing fluid stream, it gets stored in the form of flow energy, and only part of it is being used to raise the temperature. Means in any closed system, if we apply any power, or if we apply if we give any external work to it, what will happen? The part of work supplied is used to raise the temperature, means entire work supplied is used to raise the temperature, since it is a closed system. But in case of open system, that means flow, means the fluid is in motion. So in that case, what happens? Some part is used to increase the temperature, and rest of the part is being utilized, or rest of the part is being cultivated into flow work. So that is it. So these are the forms of energy a fluid will possess. Okay, now next we have classification of fluid machines. So this is not of very much important to us, since we are studying the compressors. So fluid machines, they are classified into turbines and means turbines. Turbines are what? Power producing devices. So to all the power producing turbo machines, we have one name and we call it as turbine. So for power consuming machine, there is no such specific name. They are categorized into these four categories: pump, compressor, fan and blowers. So what are pumps? Pumps are devices which handle liquids, that is incompressible fluid. Compressors are the devices which handle compressible fluids like air and gases. Fan and blower, they particularly only handle air, correct? And now how fans and blowers are distinguished? Fans are particularly used for the circulation in the entire area, whereas blowers are utilized to particularly to supply a focused stream, or it supplies air to what? To a concentrated space. That is what blowers are. Okay. Now next, since I am doing this in hurry, my writing is quite uneasy to, my writing is quite difficult to understand. Okay, now next, classification of fluid machines. This is again of very less important to us, based upon the working medium. As I said, hydraulic turbines, pumps, okay, and then based upon the fluid hydraulic machines and pumps, gas turbine, steam turbine, compressor, fan and blowers. So these are what? Based upon the working medium. These are incompressible, okay, and these are compressible. So this is it. Now next is was classification of fluid machines based upon the direction of flow: axial flow, radial flow and mixed flow. So examples of these are already given. Okay, in axial flow compressor, what happens? The flow occurs along the axis of the shaft, correct? So over here, this is example of Kaplan type turbine, and flow is occurring along the axis of the shaft. This is the axis of shaft, correct? Okay, and in radial turbines, what happens? The flow occurs radially. If we take example of centrifugal pump or old Francis turbine, so in that case, what happens? The flow either happens radially inward or radially outward, correct? So all such machines are called as radial flow machines. And what is mixed flow machine? In mixed flow machine, a modern Francis turbine is an example of mixed flow turbine. In that machine, what happens? Over here, if I see this, if I draw this blade over here, so this blade, it will look like this to me, okay? And flow over this blade, a flow will occur. So flow is happening this way. This is the axis of shaft. Let me draw it properly. If I draw this blade over here, what will happen? It will look to me somewhat like this, okay? And over this blade, a fluid flow will happen, and that fluid flow, let me change the pen. So if say this is the fluid flow, this is how a fluid will flow. So initially its direction was this, and then it becomes this. So if this is the axis of shaft, So I can say the flow is happening along radial as well as along the axial directions. That's why they are called as mixed flow type of turbine. Followed. Now next, this is all about turbo machines. So we want to study the axial flow compressor. Okay, then classification based upon, so this is important to us since our axial compressor is a rotodynamic machine. So let's try to understand what is positive displacement and rotodynamic machine. So positive displacement machine is a machine where a known volume is entrapped and that volume is then shrinked forcefully, and that shrinked volume is supplied as an outlet, as an output. Correct. So in that, what is happening, the physical boundary of an entrapped volume is displacing, right? So if I say, so all these are enemies, but I am using different office product, so I will not be able to, means this animations are not working in that office. What will happen when I take intake, suddenly this boundary will, means its volume will change, and this boundary shrinks, and there is actual displacement of boundary. That's why the boundary displaces, that is why it is called as positive displacement, and the shrinked volume is given as output as a increased pressure. Followed. So all such machine means machines where a volume is entrapped and then then contracted or shrink, and then it's supplied as an outlet. So all such machines are positive displacement machines. Whereas in rotodynamic machine, what happens in rotodynamic machine, due to the dynamic action of the blade or due to the aerofoil shape of the blades, the entire compression or let's say work production, whatever is happening is only because of rotodynamic action of the rotor. Since because of presence of rotor, all means everything is happening, so all such machines are called as rotodynamic machines. Followed. Now next, so all turbo machines are rotodynamic machines. Why all turbo machines are rotodynamic? Since turbo machines will always have a rotating component, right? So that means this is so simple. Turbo machine have a rotating component, and every rotating component will be a rotodynamic machine. Followed. So now next, applications. So now water compressor, fans and blowers, water pumps are, means over here a particular purpose, not application, but a particular work. To what application a particular turbo machine is used? Pumps are used to for circulation, flow, transmission, distribution of water and different liquids. Okay. In compressor, why compressors are used? They are used to produce the high pressure gases or airs. Compressed air is needed in industry for various purposes. That's okay. Okay. Fan, now as I said earlier only, fan, it is used particularly for the distribution of air. Correct. Means to circulate air properly, to make the mixtures, okay, proper uniform mixtures. Correct. So fans are used. And whereas blowers supply to a concentrated or limited space. Blower क्या करता है? Blower have a, means blower will, that is it. Correct. Okay, this is the diagram for blower. Now let's see what is compressor. Let's get to our main business. What are compressors and why they are used? So compressor itself, from name we can say it is a which compresses, a machine that raises the pressure of fluid. They are called as compressors. And while that compression happens, several energy transformation occurs. So initially the input energy is converted into rotating mechanical energy. That means the input energy, which whatever it may be, the fuel or electricity, that electricity supplied is used to rotate the rotor, and by rotor means that input energy is converted into rotating mechanical energy. Now rotating impeller or runner increases the fluid kinetic energy up. Okay. So over here, instead of runner, let's write rotor. Correct. So impeller, it is okay to say it impeller, because impeller we could say in centrifugal compressor as well. So हम लोग whenever we talk about compressor, we should not use runner. It will be more proper to say rotor. So rotating impeller or rotor increases the fluid kinetic energy. This is so obvious. Okay, and this increased kinetic energy is then in fixed blade, they act as diffuser, and this diffuse and pressure energy is increased. Correct. So that is how energy transformation happens. Okay. Now next, why do we need the increased pressure to for the static elevation? Let's say to supply gases at the higher level, friction to overcome the friction, to get the increased pressure and to get the increased velocity. So that is why we need the compression procedure. Okay. Now this is a typical example of axial flow compressor. This is used in jet propulsion. Over there, what happens? It is a self-running axial compressor. Over here, no electric supply is given. So what happens? Uh, this is the example of jet propulsion. मतलब ये jet this is used in aircrafts or jet propulsion. Okay. In axial flow compressor, what happens? There are series of vents through which through which air passes. Okay. Now, as we know, to this compressor a work is required. This work is supplied by here, means a fuel is supplied in combustion chamber. Okay. Now this fluid supplied as well as this gas, it 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 is used to rotate the turbine, and this turbine power is utilized to rotate the compressor. So both these means they work mutually. Followed. Now next, let's see the parts of axial flow compressor. As we already have seen, we have a stationary and rotating blades. Okay. Rotating element of axial flow compressors are vanes or blades of the compressor. Vanes. Okay. So there is one series of जैसे ये है. So first will be what? This is an example of steam turbine. ये ऐसा मत करो. Over here, where let's say we have outlet. Over here we have inlet. Okay. So what happens while we take inlet? So first blade is a first guide blade. Okay. Then after we have series of rotor, stator. Correct. So rotor blades are fixed upon the periphery. Let's say I will draw a separate diagram for it. लोग का ऐसा होता है. If we draw a straight housing, okay, in this we have one rotor. Okay. Over this housing, a series of fixed blades are attached. Okay. And upon the runner we have series of these blades. Correct. So when intake happens, what will happen? The area goes on decreasing, and as a result we will get raise in pressure. Correct. So first element is first rotating element, means rotor is the shaft upon which blades, means along with shaft and blade we call it as rotating element, and stationary element is what? Housing and fixed blades. These are the fixed blades. Okay, these are called as fixed blades, and the blades which are mounted on the shaft, they are moving blades. So there are alternate arrangement of fixed blade and moving blade, correct. Now shaft and housing, that is it. So ये housing मतलब this casing is nothing but the housing. The entire assembly is placed in housing. So that is what housing is. Okay. तो इसका proper diagram, let's say मैं, this is it. Now these are the series of radial and vent. Now what happens to pressure and velocity? So we will see that in this diagram. Let's say if this is the इनलेट गाइड ब्लेड, तो इसको मैं ऐसे कर लेता हूँ नीचे तक. So instead of that, what I will do, I will simply note down कि this is a series of first guide blade, उसके बाद में this is moving blade, ठीक है. Then after we have fixed blade, then after we have moving blade, ठीक है. So these are the rows of series and moving blades alternately arranged. If we want to study the what happens to pressure and velocity across it, so this is how pressure and velocity will change. Let's say this is the correct. So in first guide blade, what happens? The pressure will slightly reduced because of screen friction. Okay. So let me first write what is what. This first is first guide vane. Okay. This is moving vane. This is again fixed vane. This is moving vane. This is fixed vane. Correct. So firstly, I'm drawing for pressure. This is for pressure. So what will happen? Pressure will slightly decrease because of screen friction in first guide vane. Then after in moving blade, what will happen to pressure? In moving blade, pressure increases by some value. Correct. And in fixed blade, the pressure increases with greater slope. So fixed blades act as diffuser in case of compressors. Okay. Whereas a reverse of it happens in turbine. Fixed blades act as nozzles and moving blades act as diffuser. So over here the reverse of it happens. So what will happen to velocity? In first moving blade, velocity will slightly increase. This is how velocity will increase slightly. And then in moving blade, what will happen to velocity? It will definitely increase. Correct. And then after in fixed blade, it will reduce. Again it will increase in moving blade, it will reduce in fixed blade. Whereas pressure will continuously go on increasing. ये जो value है, this value remains the constant. ठीक है. So pressure will always go on increasing. So only difference is what? Increase in pressure in moving blade will have lesser slope, whereas in fixed blade it will have greater slope. Correct. The more pressure will increase in fixed blade. So one can say fixed blade act as diffuser and moving blades are nothing but, we cannot say nozzles, but fixed blades act as diffuser. So this is the velocity and pressure diagram against the row of moving blades. Followed. Now next, let's see velocity triangle. Now what is the velocity triangle for axial flow? Means what will happen to velocities while the flow is occurring. So let me explain. So velocity triangle is the most important or heart of the any turbo machine. So velocity triangle, nobody has to mug up the velocity triangle. Okay. Let's assume this is our vane over which a flow is occurring. Correct. So the component of velocity which is exactly tangential to the surface is relative velocity, since blade itself is in motion. So what will happen? So let's draw the tangential components. Correct. So relative velocity is the governing velocity whenever there is a relative motion. So let's draw the tangential component. Let's say this is the inlet and this is the outlet. So tangential component ये रहेगा. Followed. So let's say this is the relative velocity 2 at the outlet and इसकी tangential velocity ये है. So this is the inlet relative velocity. I am talking about not tangential to the turbine but tangential to the surface of the blade. Followed. ये हो गया. Then after we already know while drawing a velocity triangle, the most rule of thumb or the most important thing that we must care about is direction as well as the relationship between relative velocity. If let's say Vr is the relative velocity between, this is relative velocity between the blade and fluid, correct? So this is nothing but V minus U. So this is the vector subtraction of relative velocity, is the vector subtraction of absolute velocity of fluid and blade velocity. So if we rearrange this, what will happen? It must give us the absolute velocity must be vector addition of V relative plus blade velocity. And since we know this vector is mutually exclusive over the addition, so we can either write it as u bar as and v bar. So एक ही है, that is it. So let's draw u bar and v bar such that V bar must be resultant of VR and U bar. So let's, as I normally use the color notation indications, so वैसे use करते हैं. So let's say red is the blade velocity. So I sort of draw, अगर मैं यहाँ पे blade velocity, let's say this is the blade velocity U, correct? अब direction I will have to take U plus VR. So direction, let's say this is the direction of the VR, correct? So U bar plus VR bar must give me V bar. So I usually use blue color for absolute velocity. So this is it, correct? Now just see if it is following the relationship U bar plus VR bar. So we are getting V as a resultant of it. So that is okay. So again, two components of V, Vf and Vw. So let's draw them also. So axial component is Vf bar. So इसका axial component Vf bar. So I use orange color for it. This is the Vf1. And what is Vw1? The tangential component again. I use black color for it. So this is the Vw1. Followed. Now follow the same. Even I can means followed. So this is it. Same way we could draw for this also Vr2. So let's draw U. See, the direction of shaft is uniform. Its direction of rotation of shaft is in one direction only, either in clockwise or either in anti-clockwise. So we cannot change the direction of U. Followed. So either I can write or I can draw U bar at this location or at this location or at this location, but its direction has to be this only, correct? Yeah, undo. So let's draw again. This was blade velocity, करेक्ट. इसको मैंने टेंजेंशियल कंपोनेंट लिया था वी आर. Okay, so over here we have relative velocity like this, correct? U bar like this, then after V1 bar like this, ठीक है. उसके बाद में था VF bar like this and VW bar like this is VW1, this is VR1, this is VR2, F1 90, okay, and this entire is u bar. Followed. Same way we have relative velocity at the outlet, which is tangential to the blade surface. Followed. Next we should draw u bar and v bar such that the vector sum of u and vr should yield us the absolute velocity. So vr, this is, since this is vr, so if I draw u bar somewhat like this, followed, and इसके बाद में see, I will have to draw followed. Now see if it is true. It is following the vector addition, correct? This is absolute velocity at the outlet, this is blade velocity, this is relative velocity at the outlet, correct? So next we have one axial component vf and one radial component vw. Will this be vw? It's not vw. Vw is this is vw2, and angle made with absolute velocity we say it as theta, okay, and angle with relative velocity we call it as phi. So again same, यहाँ पर भी we have this angle as theta and this angle as phi, 1 1, this is 2 2. Followed. So this is the inlet and outlet velocity triangles. Okay, now let's go into work required. So for any turbo machine, the work required is given by, it is mass flow times Vw1 u1 minus Vw2 u2. By applying an angular momentum equation, this is the equation for Euler work. This, by applying the angular momentum equation, we concluded for any turbo machine, this is the equation for work developed or work consumed by any turbo machine. Since this is a power consuming machine, so in place of I devoted one lecture just to show you why we take change in momentum as Vw1 u1 minus Vw, means y initial minus final in case of turbine and y final minus initial in case of power consuming, correct? So since this is a power consuming compressor, we can write work done per unit second as Vw2 u2 minus Vw1 u1, correct? So this is it. So specific work, that is work done per unit mass, is nothing but again Vw2 u2 minus Vw1 u1. Followed. So since this, from this velocity triangle, see from here what we can conclude, what is Vw2? Vw2, so this, in this triangle Vw22 can be written as adjacent opposite, so it is tan of angle involved is theta 2 cone Vf, right? Vw2 can be written as Vf times tan of theta 2. Same way Vw1 can be written as Vw1, it is angle involved is theta, again adjacent, so it is Vf1 tan of theta 1. Followed. So if we put this value in equation of work, so what we can write over here, the shaft rotation is constant, so we could say u1 is equals to u2, ये बोल, ठीक है? So that indicates specific work is In place of Vw2, what do we write? Vf, that is flow component, Vf1 tan of theta 2 minus Vf2 tan of theta 1. Correct? So finally it becomes Vf. See, in case of our flow, what is happening? This is the shaft and everything. Correct? So flow Vf is the component responsible for the fluid flow. So over here fluid flow is happening in this direction. Correct? So it is regarded as constant, means Vf1 and Vf2, they are regarded as constant. Nothing is happening to the flow velocity. Correct? So Vf can be taken as constant out of the bracket, and we can say work done, specific work done is Vf times tan of theta 2 minus tan of theta 1. Same way, from geometry of velocity triangle, this tan of theta 1 and this is are similar, means tan of theta 2 minus tan of theta 1 is equivalent to tan of phi 2 minus tan of phi 1. This we can conclude from the geometry. So it can be also written as tan of phi 1 minus tan of phi 2. Correct? So this is the equation for work done. So this work is also similar to what if we are talking, if we take temperature, means thermodynamic analysis. This was the mechanical analysis. If we take thermal analysis, still work done is nothing but the change in enthalpy, mass times change in enthalpy, and this change in enthalpy is nothing but Cp times delta T. Correct? So we can also find out change variation in the temperature by knowing the energy supplied. So this is one important relationship, and this is also one important relationship. Okay. Now next, performance characteristics. So this is the most important part of axial flow compressor that I wanted to convey properly. So in axial flow compressor, what we have, the output of axial flow compressor is pressure or head. We cannot use head here. So output of performance characteristic is pressure. So either we can say pressure or pressure ratio, that is P2 by P1, both are one and the same. And over here, this is the mass flow rate. So we have at one particular value of speed, we get one performance curve. It is somewhat like this. Okay. So this is, let's say, one particular value for particular value of rotational speed. ठीक है. अब उसके बाद में अगर if I go on changing the speed of turbine, I will get curves like this, ठीक है, this. Okay, so we will study for only one speed. So this is it. Okay, now what happens, let's say our compressor is working at one particular value at particular point, let's say this, at this point. Followed? It is operating at this particular condition. So over here we have one fixed value of mass flow rate and one value of pressure ratio. Correct? So while right now our compressor is working smoothly and everything is happening properly. So after that what we will do, we will go on decreasing the mass flow rate and increasing the mass flow rate. So what will happen, while I increase the mass flow rate, let's say we have one regulating valve inside the gas line. So by using that, I can control the mass flow rate. If I go on increasing the mass flow rate, what is happening to pressure ratio? Pressure ratio is decreasing. Pressure ratio is decreasing, right? So we are getting lesser output, and we will reach one particular value. Okay, we will reach one value above which the velocity of fluid will increase by a very high value, and this is called as sonic point. Okay, and this is called as choking. This is the point where the excess means the mass flow rate is increased by so a very high value that compressor chokes and it doesn't operate properly, and we need the increased pressure ratio. So that is because of this increased mass flow rate, the pressure ratio reduces, and this is called as choking point. So at different value, at different speeds, so this let's say if I have new curve for some another value of n, what will happen? This point over here, it will happen over here, it will happen, and I will get a characteristic curve like this. This is called as choking curve. So beyond this curve, if the axial compressor is working, that means that is not beneficial for us. Means the pressure ratio is also reduced, and the choking of compressor is happening. That means the mass, it is handling a very high value of mass flow rate, which will create the distortion in the gas line or in the storage tank. Correct? That this will happen when we increase the mass flow rate. Mass flow rate will automatically increase once we increase the speed. Okay. So now same way, let's come to our initial position, and now what we are doing? We are reducing the mass flow rate. We are reducing the mass flow rate means what? We are doing? We are closing the regulating valve. So the pressure, while doing so, what will happen? The pressure will go on increasing, and it will reach one value where pressure ratio is the highest. Okay, it will reach one value where the pressure ratio is highest. Same way on different value it will go. Okay, so this is it. So ऐसा एक value मिलेगा हमको. This is called as surging curve. Okay, now what happens in surging? When I go on reducing the mass flow rate, what will happen? The pressure ratio reduces. The pressure ratio reduces means what? In our compressor, okay, let's say this is the outlet of compressor. So what is happening? Pressure ratio is reducing. That means what? The pressure at the pipe side is lesser than pressure in the compressor from the inlet pressure. That is correct. So this we are getting a negative pressure gradient. So we are getting negative pressure gradient. That means what will happen? There are chances that a reverse flow may take place. Reverse flow may take place. Until when this reverse flow will take place, the pressure inside the compressor becomes more than P2 again. So once it becomes more than P2, again this flow will occur. Okay. So there will be a oscillation of flow. Correct. And this is called a surge line. That means beyond this line, it is not convincible to operate the axial flow compressor. Followed. So this is what the performance characteristics of a axial flow compressor. That means our range of operation must be this only, between choking and surging. There is another phenomena related to axial flow compressor, that is there is another phenomena associated with the performance, that is stalling. Okay, in stalling what happens? Means flow separation from the blade occurs. Okay, flow separation from the blade occurs means what? The shape of blades are distorted because of continuous application, and due to which the flow separates from, means it is always feasible, or it is always advisable, means it is always, let's say, desirable to occur when the flow will always occur on the per surface of the blades, so that the more energy interaction will happen. Okay, but because of some geometrical, this is a geometrical phenomena, because of some distortion or change in the working parameters, that is absolute about the velocities, what will happen, the flow separates from the blades, and which will cause the vibration and everything. So this is called as stalling. Correct. So I guess everyone is clear with it, and we have studied, this is how we studied the performance of axial flow turbine with performance characteristics. I thank you all for patient listening. Enjoy your day.